Hi everyone, my name is Phil Spawn and today I want to talk to you about account security basics. So I want you to imagine a scenario with me. You are checking your Gmail one morning and you see an email from Google warning you that your account information needs to be revalidated. If you fail to do so, your account will be suspended. Alarmed, you click on the link in the email and log into Google to solve the problem. Once you log in, you are redirected to your Google account information and everything appears to be normal. So you assume that the problem has been fixed. However, later that day, you have been locked out of your Google account. A scammer created a website that looks identical to Google, and you entered your login information into it. Even worse, the scammer starts gaining access to other accounts because you made the mistake of using the same login information for everything. You frantically start trying to regain access to your accounts, but you have been locked out. So in 2017, Google did a study in which more than 15% of respondents reported that they have experienced an account takeover. The researchers were also able to locate 12 million credentials stolen via phishing scams and 3 billion credentials exposed by third-party data breaches. I've seen a lot of my friends on Instagram and other social media accounts have their accounts hijacked, and I can only imagine how many have had their emails hijacked as well. As a cybersecurity major, that bothers me because it is very easily preventable in most cases. So today I want to discuss several simple steps that we can all take to keep our accounts safe from those with malicious intent. These steps involve using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being wary of suspicious content. The first point is to use strong passwords. It's easy to fall into this habit of using the same easy to remember password for everything. After all, it's hard to remember one password, let alone several. However, using a strong password is very important. There are strength testing tools such as the one on bitwarden.com that can provide an estimate of how long it would take to crack a password with a brute force attack. Microsoft has some guidelines for creating a strong password. You should use 12 characters, although 14 or more is better. Longer passwords in most cases are more resistant to brute force attacks. You should use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, of numbers and symbols, and you should avoid using names, phone numbers, birthdays, addresses, or social security numbers because those contain sensitive information. Also, you should avoid common passwords like 1234566 and password 123 and passwords that are easy to guess like Fido123 or whatever the name of your dog is. It is also best practice to not use the same password for multiple accounts to change passwords periodically just in case one of them is compromised. Cybersecurity experts recommend changing your password every 3 months because if one of your passwords would get stolen and you change it, the hacker no longer has access to your account. A great way to eliminate the difficulty of password maintenance is to use a password manager. A password manager generates strong passwords for you and keeps them in a vault. The only password you need to memorize is the master password that lets you into the password vault. Some well-known password managers are LastPass, Dashlane, 1Password, Bitwarden, NordPass, and Keeper. So now using strong passwords is very important to keep your account safe, but a strong password is often not enough. Passwords can be leaked in data breaches and other methods that are beyond the scope of this speech. If your password was leaked, your account would be effectively defenseless without a second layer of security. The solution to the threat of data breaches and compromised passwords is two-factor authentication. I'd be willing to bet that most of you either have been hacked or have seen a friend's account be hacked. The hacker tries to trick friends and family into giving out their personal information. One of the most effective ways to ensuring that this never happens to you is by using two-factor authentication. Using two factors of authentication is a highly effective way to keep your account safe. It creates another layer of protection to prevent hackers from accessing your accounts if your password is compromised. Two-factor authentication is slightly inconvenient if you are not accustomed to using it because you got to use your phone to log in. However, the security benefit of having another layer of protection is well worth it. Two-factor authentication is not difficult to set up. There are many easy to use authentication apps like Authy, for example, and many websites that allow you to simply send a text message with a verification code right to your phone. So, with a strong password and two-factor authentication, your account should be quite secure. However, there's one more issue to address, and that is scams. If you have properly secured your account, the only way an attacker can gain access to your account is to get you to fall for a scam. And we've all let curiosity, complacency, or panic get the best of us at some point. However, there are many ways, many kinds of scams, such as phishing, spear phishing, spoofing, farming, and more, but the strategies to protect yourself from them are universal. While there's no single foolproof way to avoid phishing attacks, there are there are strategies, excuse me, that you can employ. You should use antivirus software. Antivirus software scans every file that comes through the internet to your computer, and it guards against known technology workarounds and loopholes. You should stay informed about the methods of hackers and signs to look out for. You should also be wary of pop-ups and messages with an unusual sense of urgency or particularly enticing title. You should be aware of where any links you click on will take you. You should keep your operating system and browsers up to date because they often have updates that patch security vulnerabilities. And finally, you should give out important personal information only when absolutely necessary. So now that we know how to protect our accounts from those with malicious intentions, I hope you will consider taking some of these recommendations to heart. If you use strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and use caution to avoid scams, your account should be secure. Because we cannot stop those with malicious intent from plaguing the internet, it is important to take action to protect your account and your personal information. I hope that you were informed and reminded about account security best practices, excuse me. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation.